Welcome to the Ref Room, hockey talk for referees, coaches, players, and fans.
Broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
With your hosts, Smokin, Silz, and Baumruck.
Live.
The Ref Room starts right now.
And now your host.
All right, what's up, everybody? It is Wednesday. We are the Ref Room. I'm Smokin Silz, along with Baumruck. We're both in great moods. I don't know why, because I got no sleep last night. I'm dying. We were up till like 3:30 in the morning talking our usual rigmarole.
It was not 3:30. It wasn't even close.
3:20. I think it was 3:20. Honestly.
I don't know.
So did you hire a carpenter finally after like 18 months of doing this show? You finally hung something in the background and it's all crooked?
No, I live in a 30-degree house.
You live in a house that's on like a 15-degree angle or something?
It's on stilts too, okay? I don't know. We're going to have to figure that part out, all right? So calm down. This thing over here.
Did they spell your name right is what I want to know. Did they get it right? Because we can't see it because your head is blocking it.
All right, hang on, though. You see where the R is compared to the M and the U?
Yeah, I know.
That kind of interesting, right? And by the way, that was sent to me to put on the back of my sweater, and I said, I'll get a new one.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. I like it. I like it, man. Now you got some background back there, add a little color. So you got your on-air light, which isn't on air.
It shows on air, okay, but it looks like just a hot mess right now. So I think a little piece of paper behind it, and we'll figure that out next week.
Very cool. I mean, like we must have a budget for props.
Well, that check that you sent me for $4.22, I took that and invested it in nails.
Your portion of the buy me a coffee,
which is a good segue. Buymeacoffee.com/refroom.
There you go. All right, guys. It is Wednesday. Obviously, this is the big week coming. We're in a good mood now. Don't know if we'll be in a good mood next week. but we're in a good mood right now.
We might not wake up for it. You never know.
Yeah, let's hope we all survive for next weekend. So, our topic today is fatigue. So we are going to get to that. But, hey, Blackhawks, more stuff about the Hawks, it looks like. I see the Players Association doesn't like the independent report that was put out. So now they're calling for another investigation, probably from the league or something. So, who knows?
The Players Association's having enough problems with Evander Kane over there, so they got that going on, and then they got this going on, and it's just one of those things.
They got to keep people working, They got to keep those attorneys working, all the people that are responsible for all those reports. I don't know, are the Hawks ever going to win a game this year? That's the bigger question. Did they win finally?
Yeah,
did they beat Carolina or something?
5-1. Where were you? Patrick Kane scored a hat trick.
Wow. All right.
They're off the schneid. With the news.
They're off the schneid. There you go.
All
right. So it is the big CCM World Invite Weekend. And
explain what that is.
Okay. So for those of you that don't know about it, it is the largest, biggest, most games in the country in a weekend at any facility, state, whatever you want to call it.
The world.
It's like every hockey rink is booked from like dusk to dawn. It's actually booked longer than that. It's booked like 7 o'clock in the morning till probably 10 o'clock at night, with games going nonstop in like every rink. So we have teams coming in from all over the country, all over the world. We have referees coming in from out of state to help out because we don't even have enough to cover all these games. We all work like dogs. So basically, you end up working about 6 or 7 games a day. Mm-hmm. A day. And I got some great news. I mean, I was scheduled for 7 games on Friday, and I've been sitting here going, how the heck am I going to do 7 games? By the way, they're all in a row. There was no break. No break. And then I got a phone call this morning. A phone call. Hey, we're going to give you a break. We're going to give you 1 game off. So I appreciated that. Thank you. So I'm probably doing 3 and 3. I'm very happy about that.
There you go.
So thank you for that. Thank you for that phone call. I appreciated it. Believe me.
Well, so right now, Scott, the interesting part about it is American Airlines canceled 2,000 flights.
Yeah. how many referees were on those 2,000 flights coming in.
Correct. And I don't know how they do it. It's either 1,248 games or 1,298. I can't remember the number.
It's a crazy number.
And it's played from 7 a.m. Friday till 5 or 6 o'clock on Sunday.
And it is, did I say?
It is
non-stop.
Crazy.
Non-stop.
Crazy.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very exciting weekend. So, some of the things that, we should really talk about are, how to prepare for this. I know a lot of the guys have been doing this a lot longer than I have, and a lot of hydration before, during, and after.
It's a great weekend to break in a new pair of skates. I've
Not
done
a
it.
good idea.
I took them out of the box. I put them on my feet, and I said my feet are going to hurt anyways.
Yeah.
15 games later, I was like, wow, these are getting comfortable now.
Yeah.
It was something.
Did you really do that?
Swear to God. I took them out of the box, and I said, I'm going to wear these. And I brought them to the rink, and my partner who comes in from St. Louis, I used to have two buddies that would come in from St. Louis, but we work all the games together. We have 15 games, just like we do every year. And I was like, I'm going to wear these new skates. And he's like, are you crazy? And I'm like, dude, my feet are going to hurt no matter what we do. Like, what's the difference? Either they're going to hurt really bad this weekend or they're going to hurt bad for the next 2 weekends. And he's like, all right. And he looked at me like, yeah, you're never going to do it. I took him out of the box. First game, the tongue was so stiff. Thank God I was lining. I couldn't lean forward and get the spring step that you need in order to get going. So I'm like, oh, this might be a mistake. Then I lined the second game, and then the tongue started to relax a little bit, and I'm like, all right, so this is starting to go well. Then I had a referee spot the third game. That was a nightmare because
that was not a good idea, huh?
It was bad, but then, we took our skates off. We have like a 2-game break or whatever, and then we work the next 3. So we work the 3 in the morning. We take 2 off, I believe it is, and then we have the next 3. So we're done at like 7:30 at night. We used to work the first 3 and the last 3 and had like a big break. Yeah. And we were kind of like, we feel like we're at the rink 24 hours at that point, getting there at the beginning and leaving it late. So we switched it up.
The best schedule you can get really is 3 games, take 2 off, do 3 games. Because it's enough time to get your skates off, go get something to eat, come back, and then start all over again. And then it's over. Like, the mental torture is complete.
Yeah,
if you get that, that's a nice schedule. Now, like, I'm getting 1 game off now. I'm happy about that. I'm getting a game off. But that's not enough. That's enough to maybe take the skates off. It's not enough time to leave the rink and get something to eat. So I'm gonna have to make a sandwich or something, and I'm not good at that. So I actually went out in preparation, and this is another tip. So tip number 1 for you guys.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Did you buy peanut butter and jelly? I swear to God, if you did, I'm gonna die.
How did you know, man? How did you know?
No, I
did not buy peanut butter and jelly. I don't own jelly, okay? I do have peanut butter in the house. I like peanut butter. I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna tell you, I like peanut butter. Okay, like that on like a muffin or a bagel or something like that. That's really good. I like it.
Jam, fruit preserves. Which one do you own?
The only kind of jam I got here is music. Okay, I got music I jam with. That's it. There is no other jam in the building.
All
right, so tip number 1, don't put on new skates this weekend. That is definitely tip number 1.
Hey, it was a great, horrible weekend, but I got through it. And the next weekend, my skates felt like butter, so I was good.
Yeah.
So that's tip number 1, though. I do agree.
Tip number 1.
Especially if you don't wear socks.
Yep. And tip number 2 is hydrate. Hydrate. We mentioned that already. So those are very important. So when you show up at the rink over the weekend, don't count on them putting any water in your ref room. Don't count on it. I'm telling you, don't count on it. Don't count on any protein bars being in there. I don't know. Are we getting water or protein bars?
Probably not. In a few facilities, I'm not going to name anybody out. I wouldn't even trust the water coming out of the sink. Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think you better if you're smart, you'll show up with like a case of bottled water, honestly. And here's the other thing. This is the next tip. Look out for your partners. Look out for your partners, okay? be mindful of them, be aware of them, make sure they're hydrating, make sure they're getting some food, and watch them on the ice. You know, guys are working more games longer than they normally do and covering more. So we really need to be aware of like your partner and how they're holding up, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you because the worst thing that can happen is they leave.
Yeah, like you can, you know, like look at your partner and just know, like, is he okay? Is he doing all right? Make sure, because it's a lot of skating. It's a lot of work. You are dropping a lot of calories out there. So, you know, be mindful of your partner. We have, well, Joe is actually, what Joe Prescott is on the
He's got
chat
some tips
here.
over there.
But I got to tell you, so I haven't even looked at what he's put up there yet. I'm going to, but there's a guy that is probably the best guy to go work with. When you show up at the rink, Joe is out there passing out donuts to the coaches before the games start in the morning. He walks in with a dozen donuts. Yep. He comes with Gatorade for each of his partners that have their name already written on them. I mean, honestly, guys, like, what a nice gesture. What a nice gesture. Now, that's like old school. Like, most of the guys walk in, you know, some of them walk in 5 minutes before the game time. They, you know, just go out there, whatever. But, you know, like Joe shows up like me, half hour, 45 minutes, hour before the game time. And, you know, he's ready to go, man. He's got like uniform changes and, you know, sweater changes, all kinds of stuff so you can be comfortable out there. I'll tell you, if you get a chance, take those socks off at some point and switch out. It's a beautiful thing.
Hold on a minute. What?
If you can get your if you can get your skates and socks off for a couple minutes and put fresh socks on, that's it. What? Huh?
Fresh what?
Fresh socks.
Oh.
Fresh. So you don't wear socks. That's right. I forgot.
there you go. So here's another tip.
For most people that do wear socks when they're skating, it is much better if you can get those things off after like 2 games.
Yeah.
And get a change.
Well, the important thing is, like we talked about it, I think we mentioned it last week. Go to Walmart.
Yep.
Go to Target. Go wherever.
My next tip. Yep.
Buy yourself a $10,
yep,
$20 hair dryer. Okay.
Yep. I got one for $11 at you know, one of the big box stores.
The important thing is, though, it has to have a cool setting on it. Okay, because I've seen where people will put it in their skate and it's just hot air going into it, and then they basically rebake their skates.
Yeah.
So it has to have a cool setting. Dry it out. You know, if you can put it outside the locker room, please do that. Like me, my skates are horrible.
I did that the other day. I was at one of the rinks and the guys walked in. They're like, "Oh my god."
Yep.
It was bad. But I was coming from another set of games and I had it on high heat, and I was cooking the room with those things. It was bad. So there's another tip for you guys, you know, as far as fatigue goes.
Don't sweat sock the room.
Yeah, sweat sock the room.
You can also change your laces.
Bedroom is what it smelled like, I'm told. I don't have kids, so.
You can also change your laces halfway through the day because your laces do retain water. Yeah. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're skating as much as we are, you know, throughout the weekends or whatever, especially this weekend coming up, you can change those laces out, and it does make a big difference. Yeah. Even though you might not think it, but it does.
If you have enough time, if you've got the hair dryer, honestly, like I'll go through and, you know, the padded shorts I will try to dry out so it's fresh. I will try to dry the elbow pads out, the shin pads, whatever you can dry. I mean, that thing works great. And, you know, you just put it on for a couple minutes. It does do the trick, and you will be a lot more comfortable out there for it.
Well, Scott, I wear volleyball knee pads for elbow pads.
Well, I wear Lacrosse elbow pads.
Okay, yeah, that's a good choice. Plus, they come further down on your arm too, don't they?
They're actually very small, but they have really good padding on the arm, and they allow you to have your arm a little bit straighter, I think, than a hockey elbow pad. Hockey elbow pads keep you kind of, you know, in the bent position because, you know, like this.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I got a problem, I guess. Anyway, hey, I'm not the one that hung my stuff crooked on the wall, okay?
It's not crooked. I told you, we have to figure this out after the show, okay?
All right.
All right?
But anyway.
Stop busting on it, all right?
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I wear Lacrosse elbow pads, and even like for some of these tournaments, if you have an extra sweater, bring it with you. You'll appreciate it, because sometimes you just don't have enough time to dry everything out between games, and it's just a nice feeling to be able to refresh. Bring an extra couple, underlayers if you can. Whatever you can get off and get changed and dried out, you'll feel a lot better.
Yeah, and you know what, Scott? Because we work the 3, 2 off, 3, I shower in between.
Yeah.
And I know everybody's like, why would you do that? Well, you know what? A shower gives me a chance to, A, not talk to anybody else and be in my lone little area, think about what I had during the day, and B, it's refreshing. I'm sorry, unless I'm insane, but I could be.
Yeah.
I don't wear socks, so.
Now,
I'm a little crazy.
I hope you put shower shoes on in some of these places, and if that's your own little environment at some of these places...
Yeah, it's not
I'm
good.
scared
Sometimes
for you.
it's not good. Sometimes it's not
some
good.
Some places are better than others. That's for sure. So if you're a veteran official, maybe they assigned you to one of the nicer facilities.
I go wherever I'm told to go. I'm fine.
I know.
Like, you put me here, put me there. I mean, there's some places you walk in, for some reason there's no hot water heater. Who knows what that's all about?
Yeah. They had one before you got there. They just took it out for the referee week.
Yeah, yeah. The game was, this rink was built in 1972. The water heater's been long gone. There's water flowing in there, though, okay? So there you go.
Yeah, it's all good. But, yeah, it's a challenge. Yeah, bring a couple towels, guys. You're going to sweat a lot. Towels are going to get pretty wet. Bring a microfiber cloth for your visor. Great. I keep one in my pocket all the time. I swear by it, because you know what? Even if you bend over and pick up a puck or something like that, or somebody sprays you with from stopping, and you get some, it just works really well for.
Well, there's a tip to stop the sweat down.
Yep.
So a lot of men use feminine products.
Yep.
Pads, and they can go right inside your helmet, or they do sell the ones, I forget who makes them, Bauer or somebody like that. They're very expensive. The $6 option at your local grocer works out very well. Just don't be the guy that forgets about it and goes out for your second game, because what happens is they eventually become saturated, and then it turns into like a car wash. So I've actually seen it happen. So, but it works out really good if people, you're looking for a way to stop sweat from getting in your visor or dripping down your face. You can put it right in the front of your helmet. You don't even notice it's there. Yeah,
the ones
good to go.
The ones that actually go into your helmet, they pass those out at the seminar, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago.
I'm
thinking we got one of those. I think we got one, or did we get 2 of them, something like that. But they work. That's a nice idea. Probably not a bad idea at all. Again, for me, I just go with the microfiber cloth and change them out every now and then. So, but bring a stone for your skates.
Yep.
You might even, if you got a backup pair of skates, I'd bring them. I told you I got my skates destroyed at the pro shop. I'm skating on skates that were sitting in the trunk of my car.
Tell the story, because nobody else knows it. I've talked to you about it. So go ahead. Tell the story.
I've had a problem. I've never had a problem with the left skate in my entire life. If I'm going to have a problem, it's always the right skate. I was having a problem to the point where it was so painful to even skate in them. I was getting a heel spur, or a heel, like a heel burr, or whatever you want to call it, spur, I guess, on the back of my left heel. And, like in the back, it felt like I was blistering all the time. It's just rubbing. So I took them back in, and they rebaked the skates. Well, I think they overbaked them. I went out there, and the took went from this to in like that. So I was like skating on the outside edge of my skate. That's all that was there. Took them back. They told me there wasn't a coating on the skates, that they were defective. They sent them back to CCM. Supposedly I'm getting a new pair. Tracking number hasn't come in. I don't have them. I'm sure I will.
I know people have had problems with CCM or Bauer and all the manufacturers. If you have an issue, they're all really awesome with it. So don't ever hesitate.
I'm not worried. I mean, I really like the skates. The skates are awesome. But problem with the left skates. So now I am skating in my skates that have been sitting in the trunk of my car for 3.5 years. The reason I got rid of them is they hurt my feet to begin with, my right foot, which is the problem foot. So I'm on these things. So the other night I tried to put on the pair of skates I was skating in before I got these new skates, which was a pair of CCMs. But they are like Converse gym shoes. They have absolutely no support left. I cannot even. I'm afraid I'm going to tweak my ankles just from being out on the ice, like with nobody even near me. So they're like not even usable. They're completely broken down. So if you have an extra pair of skates, bring them with you. You never know.
Your partner might need them.
Yeah.
It happens. You break a blade in the middle of a tournament.
I've seen guys break blades. It's not pretty.
Saw a guy break a blade on Sunday playing. Just skating down the ice. Boom. He hit the ice. I was like,
they're all selling, replaceable blades. My new skates that I had, they got the little twist thing and you just pop in a new blade. I don't have extra blades for them yet. But, I grew up as a kid. I never saw anybody break a blade. Nobody ever broke a blade. Didn't happen. Well, did not happen.
Nobody broke a blade in the Middle Ages either. That steel was very solid. Go pick up one of those, Scott.
Yeah, exactly. So what you're saying is okay. Anyway,
yeah, where I'm going with that.
I know. It would be nice to have extra blades. I mean, honestly, like from a sharpening standpoint, not all these rinks offer skate sharpening either. So if you step on something or you catch something and you get a bad burr or a bad edge,
just knock my bottle of water over.
Yeah. You're hydrating already. See,
I am always every morning.
Very good.
Got to drink a bottle of water to get your metabolism started.
Yeah. So that's a couple of things that and now we should probably we've given a few of these hints as far as this goes. But
another thing, since we're talking about feet, okay, and this is just a thing that you want to watch out for ingrown toenails. All right, and people don't realize this because your foot's shoved into a hockey skate, right? And your foot's up against that toe cap. It'll actually cause your toenail to start digging in. Does anybody know? Scott, you ever had an ingrown toenail? I haven't, thank God. No. Well, from what I hear, they're an absolute nightmare. So
I'm sure.
Trim your
but
toenails.
They shouldn't develop just over the CCM World Invite weekend. I think you
I
probably
agree,
have a bigger problem than that. I don't think that's one that we got to put on the top tips. Yeah,
that's all right. Tip in general.
Yeah.
Come on.
Maybe we should get a podiatrist on the show so we can talk about the referee's feet.
There you go. Yeah, we'll talk about hangnails.
Well, I think we should talk about the mental aspect of this too. Because when you get out there and you go, let's see, I got 7 games today. That's 3 periods. I'm 21 periods. Okay. I only got 20 periods left now. I got 19 periods left, et cetera, et cetera,
No. So what you should be doing is as your games go on, look at the positive aspect of it. I've worked 3 periods and nothing's happened yet.
I've
worked 6 periods.
You're adding nothing's happened yet. So you're anticipating something happened. I don't ever think waiting for something to happen because, if you're waiting for something to happen, it will happen. You don't need that.
Oh, boy. Now you just cursed your weekend.
Exactly.
Actually, I got an interesting thing. So I'm a horoscope person. All right. I know a lot of people think it's phooey. Well, I read my horoscope for yesterday. Boy, am I glad I wasn't refereeing because it said in there players today were going to be at each other's wits or something like that.
Oh.
And then it said in there, especially against referees making calls.
What?
I'll pull it up. I'll read it.
That's a bad omen. I'm sorry. That's a bad
and
omen.
I was like, I'm so glad I'm not refereeing. I'm like,
I think one of the schedulers is probably going to text you now and put you on a game tonight just to see if the horoscope is accurate.
No, it was yesterday. It was yesterday.
All right.
I'm sure of it. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so it gives you just an overall. This is Georgia Nichols. Parents must be patient with kids today. Likewise, lovers and romantic partners must be patient with each other. In sports, players might be at each other's throats, especially disputing a call from a referee.
Oh my gosh.
This is because people are obsessed with their ideas today. Lighten up.
What's your zodiac sign there, my friend?
I am a Gemini. I am a true Gemini. I'm right in the middle.
I'm an Aries. First. If we had shared the same one, and I probably would have had one of those coaches on one of those days.
Interesting. Since you're an Aries, when there's a full moon, are you down when there's a full moon? Do you get down?
So. I don't think so.
Check it out.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. Now that
a
you
lot of
pointed it
people
out,
think-
I'll make an observation. I didn't know that, but
A lot of people think it's phooey. Whatever. I like to read it just because every once in a while my days go weird, and I'm like, and then I read it, I'm like, whoa, this kind of makes sense. Now it's probably just my mental capacity connecting to odd things that happen throughout the day. But I read this one and I started laughing. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have a game tonight. Like, I'll never forget back in the day, I had a game at a rink, and it was canceled because when I got there, the ice wasn't up to snuff because it was melting in areas and blah, blah, blah. The game before it had played 2 periods and it canceled. So on my way home, one of our assigners texts me and goes, hey, can you stop at this rink, which is 10 minutes from my house, which is fine, and work this mic game? The guy on it's brand new. I don't really want to drive all the way out there. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I pull up the moon cycle and it's a full moon that day. I text him back. I'm like, you want me to go work a mic game with a brand new guy during a full moon? And he texted me back. He's like, so you're going to show up or what? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. But I just thought it was funny because, like, people there's something to how it works. Like, because I don't know about you. You worked in radio.
Well, let's
sure
hope
you got a
there's
bunch
no
of weird
full
calls.
moons over the weekend, okay?
No.
Let's
But
hope
hang
there's
on.
no full moons over the weekend.
Hold on. Another tip for this weekend. Your clocks fall back Saturday to Sunday.
Yeah, I forgot it's this weekend. So you're
always
going to
this
get an
weekend.
extra hour of sleep, which is good. That's
Maybe.
for the, if you're working the, the consolation and the championship and the semis and all that stuff, you get an extra hour of sleep. Wow, thank you for that. Because I got a booking. So I actually had to call in a favor. I had to get off a couple games on Saturday. Because I got a last-minute booking yesterday for Saturday night. So I'm going to work a show, and then I'm going to get up and be on the ice at 7:30 in the morning the following day. So you just got me an extra hour of sleep. So thank you.
There you go.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Now that we're back to working again, we're back in business. So that's cool.
All right. So
All right,
another part about this fatigue.
Yeah.
All right. Muscle cramping. You were talking about it the other day when you were working.
Yes. Yeah, I skated.
Right.
I skated 3 20-minute periods in the middle, 2 games in a row. That's 120 minutes.
Yep. And you don't get a line change.
Right. Yep. So
Bananas.
yes, I already bought it. I just bought a.
See?
A bunch of you call it a bunch because I never buy. I bought a bunch of bananas yesterday, and I bought. Somebody else told me quinine water is really good for that. So you can get tonic water that has quinine. Yep. Tonic with quinine. Supposed to be really good for cramps. So I bought two bottles of that. Now I don't know. Do you have to drink that before you skate? I got to find out. Or do you drink
before
it
bed?
Oh, drink it before bed. How much do you have to drink? Just out of curiosity.
That I don't know. I just
I'm
know
gonna have
that
to find out,
I know that tonic water helps with restless leg syndrome too.
Yes.
Like when you lay down, it helps out with that. Now we're starting to talk like medical. We got to get that guy on. I forgot his name.
Oh, we'll get Dr. Matt back on.
Dr. Matt. Yeah, that's
Matt
it.
Valente.
Sorry. Forgot his name.
Hockey. We should have done that. He'd probably give us some helpful tips that way. But, buy yourself a couple bottles of tonic water with quinine. Make sure it has quinine in it. So I got a couple of those yesterday just in case. And be prepared to, deal with coaches and 601 and all that good stuff, which I don't want to wish on anybody. But I got to tell you, over the weekend, I had a team twice. Never worked their games before. Don't know. Never, can't have any bad blood. Never worked your games. Don't even know who you are. Went over with the iPad to, introduce myself and say hello. Got a handshake from the assistant. There's 2 guys on the benches. The other coach, the head coach, went and did everything he could to not even look or acknowledge that we existed. Didn't even look at us. Like, went over, played with pucks, played with sticks. I think he probably started cleaning up the rink if he could on that bench, just to make sure his head was buried in the sand and he didn't have to look at us or talk to us. And he was a tool for both days. He did the same thing on day 2.
Were you wearing the Harry Potter cloak?
No.
Oh, I'm just checking.
On day 2, I did wear my sheriff's badge on day 2 that somebody gave me. So that was but yeah, it was kind of weird. Like, you just be prepared, guys. And I know
Yeah,
usually, a lot of times too, you're going to end up with some really famous coaches on these benches from CCM World Invite Weekend, because we get a lot of former NHLers, and they actually do understand the game and know what you're supposed to be doing out there. So
I'm gonna
know
what
you're working with, know who you're working with.
A lot of them are super cool, though.
Yeah, they are.
Every once in a while, you'll run into one that you're like, really? Like, it doesn't happen that often, but
exactly.
But I'd say about 90% of the ex-NHL players that I've encountered over the years, they're all cool. Like, even if you go over there and you're like, hey, man, I didn't see it, and they're like, I didn't expect you to see it, but I got to say something.
Yeah.
Like, they get it.
They know that they're not. It's not their first time at the rodeo. They get it.
Right.
They're good. Most of them are really, really cool, and for the most part, they're smart. They're teaching their players. They don't worry about what you called or what you didn't call. They care about like getting their players over and teaching them, which is what they're supposed to be doing. Their jobs.
There's an interesting comment that I saw, Scott, and
we got a lot of comments. I feel
that triggered my memory. So it's yours and Barb's anniversary today, isn't it?
Oh, somebody did know. Wow, thank you guys for that. Yes, it is.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. My lovely wife of many, many years now. Been together for a long time. I think I want to say this is our 36th anniversary, if I'm not mistaken.
Now you're in trouble.
I believe.
You put that
1985. So.
Well, I'm 38, so 36. I was born in 83.
36. Yeah, 36 years. So, yeah, happy anniversary, dear. Thank you for putting up with me. You're a saint.
Yeah.
And I'm a saint. I put up with her too, so I'm a saint too.
Yeah, mine will be 10 on Saturday.
Yeah, I know you got
years.
the big one coming up. I don't know, what is that paper or is that silver? What do you get for 10 years? I don't know.
I'm just gonna mail her a card because I'm gonna be at the rink. So whatever I mail and shove in there, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
She's going to dinner with me tonight, so
okay.
It'll be a good night.
Let's look at some comments. Oh, Joe says hello to Alan and Skokie. Yeah, I saw Alan the other night. I walked into one of the restaurants before the game to get a snack, and who did I run into but Alan? Alan's everywhere. So, and he loves to watch the show, so we appreciate that. Carl says, I have 8 games Saturday and 4 games Sunday. Carl, buckle up your seatbelt, buddy. You're going to need it, okay? Get some rest. Joe, with this weekend coming up as a challenge for most officials in the area, it is a perfect time to discuss fatigue for officials. And that is exactly what we are doing today. Because guys,
Scott,
you're gonna get, when you get tired, you get cranky. I don't know about you, but when I get tired, I get cranky. So you got to think a little bit before you react on certain things. Don't just blow somebody up to blow somebody up. Okay,
Yep.
I mean, even the players, they're skating a lot. They're probably skating 2 or 3 games a day, I'm guessing, and they've had to travel here from a long distance. Their sleep times may be off. We're gonna all be off the following day on Sunday with the sleep times. So, take this into consideration, guys. Guys have spent a lot of money and a lot of effort to get here. Yeah, they're going to say some stupid things, but if it's a personal, almost a personal conversation, like you're the worst referee I've ever seen in my life, and that's all they come over and say to you like that, suck it up, maybe.
Yeah.
Should suck that up. It's when they gesture that you're the worst friggin' referee in the history of hockey, and the whole building can hear it. That's when you can.
That's it. Where are you reffing this weekend?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm over on the North Shore in one of those newer buildings. New building.
Oh, I know where you're going. Okay. So
on the far east side of town. Game. Like I'm closer to the lake, I think.
I'm gonna show up to your game, and I'm gonna heckle you. That's what I'm gonna do.
Hey,
No,
that's fine.
The important part is, remember that there's only 2 things that we can control throughout a game: ourselves and line changes. That's it. And that's the bare minimum of it. And your reaction also sets the mood for the game.
Yeah.
So if you react poorly, the players are going to react poorly to you. Yeah. The coaches are going to react poorly to you. Try to. I get that everybody's going to be tired. I'm going to be tired. Try not to say anything what I would consider stupid, because stupid things can't be protected. If you mess up a rule, you're trying in good faith. I mean, that can be at least justified. you can say I screwed up. But if you say something really, really dumb, you can't. There's no going back at that point. So try to remember where you're at. Remember that you're tired. Remember that maybe it's your third game and you're ready to eat.
Maybe it's your sixth game or your seventh game. Yeah.
Just.
By the way, we didn't talk about this. Make sure you guys have some snacks in your bag.
Yeah.
Whether it's lunch, if you're bringing a sandwich with you or a couple sandwiches, but make sure you bring, I don't know, some nuts, protein bars, trail mix, candy bar, whatever. Have some gum. Have some things just to be comfortable between games if you need to, until you get to lunch. Yeah, I know you told me about peppermint. That's interesting. I didn't know about that.
It helps. I
chew
with
peppermint
your
gum,
hunger.
so the peppermint gum, will that work for me? Will that keep me from getting any fatter?
It could be an old wives' tale. I just live with it. Yeah. There's probably no medical research behind it, but it's kind of like Altoids are in the tin because they were originally used for motion sickness for guards that were traveling on boats to Alcatraz or something like that. The story goes, or something, I don't know, something in Europe. Somebody told me it once. I forget what the hell it is, but that was the reason why it had to do with motion sickness, just like lifesavers. Motion sickness. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Dramamine for motion sickness. Okay.
Well, you didn't know either. If you take the what are they, the spearmint lifesavers or whatever, they got the blue things in them. If you go outside at night and you chew them with people, your mouth sparks up. It's kind of cool.
I didn't know that either. See, you're just a wealth of knowledge. You should be on Jeopardy, Brad. You got all the answers, man.
I watch Jeopardy, and I'm like, I think it's that. And then I get it right, and I'm like, all right, well, at least I got it right. I'm like, but I'd never be able to time the button or any of that. Like, I'd be sitting there going, what? Oh, like, if it was a one-on-one question, maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Then add in the studio lights, the people in front of you.
Oh, yeah, there's pressure. That's pressure.
Thinking about being embarrassed.
That's why you don't have any lighting in your house there, Brad, because,
we were just talking about this today.
You're just going to
Brad goes, I need a light up
above. You need a hair light. That's called a hair light.
Okay,
for those of you out there, you need a hair light.
We'll
then
go
you need
over
a light with some diffusion, there's different, different concepts to this. Well,
I'm diffusing my anger right now.
And that's what we're going to probably do all weekend is diffusing our anger, or diffusing coaches' anger. So, again, going back to the coaches, please be patient with them, try to be pleasant.
Cut them some slack. Cut yourself some slack.
You're going to agree to disagree at some point. It usually comes to that at some point. And remember this, every call makes somebody happy. So
that is true.
Every call makes somebody happy.
Even if it's the wrong call.
Every call makes somebody happy. Somebody will be happy about it. May not be the right call, but somebody will be happy.
All right, go hit the comments.
Let's see.
Again.
What else? Joe's got a few comments up here. We're going to get through a few ideas. Obviously, the most logical is to take fewer assignments. Yes, there are so many games that need officials, but what's good? And if you're, burnout. Burnout is the reality. And I think, as we're talking about fatigue with the number of games that we work during the season, and if you're working 6 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever, and some of you are working a full-time job on top of it, and you're still coming out at nights, yes, fatigue will set in, and burnout. You can call it burnout. We were trying to be polite with fatigue, but
it's good. I get that point. And you know what? When you start to get burned out, you start to go out on the ice, and you're like, ugh, that happened again. Your view changes. So try not to get to that point.
Look, it's almost like you get the 100-foot stare. I think that was something that they had in the military many years ago. Like they called it the 100-yard stare. For us, it's the 100-feet stare or 100-foot stare, whatever you want to call it. But like you're looking, and you like, you can't even focus. Like I was actually looking. I just can't say like. I don't know what happened. You just don't at that point. You get to the point where it's like you're a deer in headlights. You got to have some time to yourself. And even if it's, maybe you want to spend time with your family or just sit on the couch and watch Netflix. That's sometimes not happening. You have to do it. That's not happening this weekend for most officials.
Not this weekend.
Okay, if you're an official, not happening this weekend. Don't expect to have it happen.
No, my Xbox time is going to be severely disrupted this weekend.
Yeah, like it won't even happen. I would.
No. I'll be going to the rink, coming home.
For officials that work mostly higher level games, take a week where you skate only kids games, Pee-wee and below. Get back to the games that all started. That's an interesting point, Joe.
I like that point.
That is a very good point. Not only that would help the assigners out greatly. Just so you guys know.
I worked a squirt game with one of the assigners, and we had a blast. And you know what? I'm going to say this: the two coaches that were on there, one I've known since I started refereeing. He's always worked. Always coached mites and squirts. That's where he likes to be. That's where he likes to have his wheelhouse. And him and the other coach couldn't have been more appreciative that we were out there working their game. And you know what? Like we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago, it's the little things that they do make a lot to us, like as officials. Just for them being appreciative that we were there made it, definitely worth my while, even though it's always worth my while. But it's sometimes, we work all these games and you're going from rink to rink to rink. And yes,
you don't get a lot
abuse.
of attaboys. You don't get a lot of attaboys. No. You have a couple of players that the coaches have probably trained to go up and introduce themselves to the official, maybe the captains of the team. And I think that's such a nice gesture. I really like that. I have a lot of respect for the players when they come over and do that. I think it's a very nice touch. It's a good way to get off, like even if, like I'll tell them my name. Hey, hi, Captain, what's your name? And a couple pleasantries. I like that. I think it's very nice.
Mutual respect backwards when the captain comes over, because they normally introduce themselves. If you have to, take your pen out, write the captain's name on your hand, so that if they come to talk to you, what's up, Scott? What can I do for you? And they immediately know that you've remembered them, you've respected them. And the conversation tends to go much better than what do you want?
Exactly.
Yep. So it's just like centers, too. When you're lining, you can take a second as they're skating up and look at the back of their jersey. Instead of saying white square up, Steven square up. They know that you're talking to them, and they're like, oh, okay, and they'll square up easier. It just makes your life easier. Now, again, this is totally off fatigue, but this is just random knowledge.
No, it is, because these are things that are going to help you psychologically have a better game out there. It comes down to that. We've talked about this, having the goaltenders be friendly with you.
I love the goalies. Some of them say some really funny stuff.
It just goes a long way, guys. I mean, this makes your life better, and the better your life can be when you're out there for a long day, when you're tired, stressed, and hungry, and I don't know, hangered or whatever they call it.
Angry. Not going anywhere for a while.
You're hangered. These are things that can help you. Just some good little tips. All right, we got a couple others. We got a Facebook user. Brad, you wear no socks when reffing.
Yeah, I believe so.
Gary Rule when drop puck 111. Gary post, maybe that's Gary Pottishman. Rule when drop puck one. I don't know what 111 is. I'm not sure what that is. It's probably coming from Alan. Okay. Let's see. Joe says, third, call the fellow officials that you are close to. Set up a meet during the week or after your games and just catch up on family, jobs, church, all the real. Yeah, that's always a great idea, Joe. I mean, I don't think we do enough of that within our referee community. I've always said we should have more things. We have the golf outing that Jack put together. What an awesome event, and what a great way to go, share some fun and laughs. And, we did it. We did it. Our referee in chief showed up with no golf clubs. Yeah, he still had a lot of fun out there.
Hang on.
You want to talk about laughs?
He had his speaker, though. Okay, he brought his speaker.
The award. He brought his speaker, but he forgot his golf clubs.
No clubs. And we got to the 16th hole, and the ranger came by, and he's like, "Just so you guys know, you're both supposed to have clubs." And I'm like, "Dude, we made it 16 holes." Actually, it's interesting.
It's just another chuckle. That's what made it even more special. So he probably had his clubs in his bag, in the trunk of his car, and he just thought it would be more fun if he showed up with no clubs. So
no, he showed up with no clubs because I made him go check. But no, interesting enough, the committee was actually texting about that last night. So there may be a venue change to a different thing, and there's a lot of discussion going on.
Oh, for the golf outing for next year?
For the golf outing,
it's grown.
for next year.
It's grown. This is going to be major. I mean, it's a fundraiser at this point, guys. We're helping charity.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Joe is really chiming in here. Pull out the liners, change socks, change shirts, bring some fruit. Yep. Bananas
Hairdryer.
especially,
Fruit's
guys.
good. Bananas.
My man, Brian. By the way, Brian, I stole one of your bottles of water the other day when we were out at one of the rinks. He walked in with the case of water, and he was on the ice. I tried to say hello to him between games, and he was focused because he was at the wrong end of the building for me. But I was talking to Mr. Prescott, and I did steal one of your bottles of water, Brian. So I owe you, but thank you for that. And again, nice gesture. Long tournament, a lot of skating. Somebody shows up with a case of water. Thank them.
Yep.
We have a lot of people that do that within our community, or bring some snacks for the guys in the room. And if you can do that, if you're in a position to do that, I know not all of you guys are, but if you can, it's much appreciated. Trust me, it goes a long way. Again, the tournaments used to do that. You don't see it very often anymore. You don't. They used to have some nice refreshments. Water, sports drinks, whatever the case may be, it was in there, and some peanuts or snacks or whatever. It's appreciated, guys. We need it. Brett says, no sweat helmet liners are the expensive ones.
Yeah, those are I know
that's
what
the ones
they are.
that actually go in your helmet and they stick in there, and they're easy to replace. They're nice. They are nice.
There's a great product in aisle 19.
Come on, Brad. I don't know what that means, but okay.
That was about
Come on,
the
Brad.
toenails and not wearing socks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't need to know about your foot problems, Brad.
I have no foot problems. I have none. So this
From a
I
guy
didn't
that
know.
needs some new equipment. Okay, guys, we're gonna start a buy me a coffee for Brad to get some new garments.
I'll
some
buy
new
new
garments
stuff if you fund it.
Yeah,
We can get a lot
Karen
today.
knows you need to eat the
I didn't know
bananas
this.
now. So okay, so we should start eating the bananas now. Great point.
Well, the question is, Karen, how early should we be eating them? I eat them when I have an issue, start cramping. Should 24 hours, 48 hours?
Yeah,
I know
maybe.
she'll comment back in the comments. So
Yep. Okay.
What?
That's
when
a great
should we
tip.
start? Because I didn't know this.
Another great tip. Thank you for that, Karen. I saw Karen the other day at the rink. That was nice to see her.
So did I.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a while, so it was good. Tony says, depends on the amount of gin and limes. My man, are you back on the ice, Tony? Tony had a similar injury to what I had, and he's been out for a while. I know he's just starting to come back. So I hope you're doing well, Tony, and I hope you're able to work lots of games. So
what does he do for charity, if I remember correctly?
for charity?
Does he do the autism stuff, or is that somebody else?
I'm not sure. Sure.
Okay. Well, I might have the wrong name.
My man Pat Garrity says happy anniversary. Thanks for that, Pat. Really appreciate
you triggered it.
Pat, I've known Pat for a very long time. I mean, we were rink rats back in the Rainbow days. So, along with Mr. Prescott. So Carl says, I have a few singles, so I'm going to have the backup goalies be my linesmen. Oh, wow. You're working single games. Yeah, so I guess we should cover that. I mean, we have talked about it on the show, but you want to talk about fatigue is working solo games. I worked one last night, men's league.
501D.
Yeah. And the reality of it, I don't know what level you're working, Carl, but, the goal line is important. But so are the blue lines, so are the offsides. So if you can even if you can't get a goalie, depending on the level, like, I don't know if you're going to put I don't know if you're working squirt, peewee, Bantam. I would hope you're not working Bantam or midget solo. But if you are,
the biggest thing is the 3x1 getting in the 4x6.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's what everybody's out there for. Everything else, yes, it does make the game throughout the game, and they're all very important. But the most important thing, no matter what, when we're out there, the 3x1 getting in the 4x6.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't. Nobody cares what penalties you called after the game if they won.
We miss offsides every now and then with two guys out there. You're gonna miss them with one guy. It's gonna happen.
I hate the naked blue line. It happens though.
But it's the reality of it. You do have the naked, and you got two. Pay for three. Pay for four if it's that important. That's all I could say.
The only problem is if
We
4
just
people
don't have
are
them.
available.
Yeah, we just don't have them. Yeah.
Yep. It's unfortunate.
Get him Ray.
They're commenting to each other.
Oh, okay.
They're going to have the
Okay, I'm lost my track here. Okay, Brad
you're
is
further down.
our Cliff Clavin.
Clavin. Have you never
Cliff
watched
Clavin?
Cheers?
Oh, okay.
It's a Cheers
I
reference.
I know Cliff. I didn't know his last name. Sorry about that.
Cliff Clavin. Oh, yes.
1,000-yard stare. Old
talk
military
about TV
phrase. Yep,
after this.
That is correct.
Yep.
Brad, do you get blister when you wear no socks? Alan's got a thing about you not wearing socks with your skates. Now, I skated barefoot when I was younger.
I do not
works.
get any blisters.
It works.
No blisters, but I do get calluses on my feet, so pedicures are the way to go. And yes,
Karen
I'll be
says,
the person
now.
that
She
says
should
it.
have put an exclamation mark on that.
I know.
Now. Start eating them now, okay?
I saw it and I started laughing on the inside.
I will have one today at least. I promise. I am definitely going to do that. Let's see. She says the only way food acts quickly is, okay, if you got allergies. So food takes 2 days to get through the system. Start now, eat through the weekend, massive. Okay. Thank you for that. That is really great advice, and that's somebody that knows, okay? That's a trainer telling you how to handle this situation, guys. So, again, these are all things that are going to help you. Talk about fatigue. Cramps are like the worst. I skated with cramps in both my feet the other day after I skated that 120 minutes in the middle. It's real.
A long day.
It's real, guys. And, we don't get to quit. We don't get to stop. Not going to happen. Not going to shut play down and say, I'm
tired.
Yeah, I'm tired. Need a break.
Well,
That's when you got to go to the 5-on-3 maybe, and then you might get a little break standing around at one end.
I do know a game where it went on for a very, very long time. Let's put it that way.
Was that the 9 period? Was that the 9-period game in one of the state playoff games or something like that? That somebody was in the middle?
Yes. And I was lining, and another linesman had the fortunate pleasure. I felt so bad for the gentleman. You could tell he was in serious pain, and here's where I feel the worst for him. He's like, I gotta get off the ice, and I'm like, I get it. Get off the ice. They scored a goal like 8 seconds after he got off the ice. I felt so bad for him.
And they took his pay away because he didn't finish the game. No,
no. But he
didn't get his $32.
You know what? He was going up and down the ice in that middle spot for so long. I felt just
brutal.
absolutely horrible for him. And it's part of what we sign up for, so I get it. But he was like, I gotta go. And actually, I don't think he refereed the next day either. I think he was like down for the weekend after that. And I felt bad for him, especially because they scored. It was we dropped the puck and they came down and scored.
It's no different when you're doing. Some of you guys are doing 7-8 games. I don't care if you're doing might squirt. If you're out there, you're on your feet for that long, going up and down. It's painful. It's painful, and this is why we're talking about fatigue today, guys. All right, Tony says, I simply forwarded a request for refs for autism.
See?
I'm skating warm-ups tonight with my men's team tonight. Oh, man, I'm glad you're back, Tony. Well, I'm really happy for you. Skate the warm-ups. I went to a public session. Now, I'm going to tell you, I was out for, I think, 8 months, if I'm not mistaken, or 6 months. Let's see.
It was a long time because I skated with
November.
You right before.
Yeah, it was
and
the
then
end
I
of May.
skated with you when you came
and
back.
I got back in after, so I didn't work the CCM turn. I got back like around Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So I went over to a public session at one of the rinks and put on my skates just to see what it would even feel like when I got cleared by the doctor. And let me tell you something. My legs were shaking going around the ice once. I went with my hand on the board. Now, that's kind of how I skate anyway, but that's beside them. Ask any of the fours, they'll be like, well, that's how he skates anyway.
We can pull video of it.
Honestly, yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Honestly, though, like, my legs were shaking, and then it gets better. Like, you go around again, it's not as bad. Your legs, it comes back pretty quickly as far as that goes. And by the end of the day, like, if you stay there for an hour and skate or 45 minutes, it will get better and better. I highly recommend, like, it's cool you're going to go skate the warm-ups. Make sure you put some equipment on. That's number one. And number two, I'd tell you to go over and do a public session for a half hour, 40 minutes, something like that, just to start getting the legs back. It'll come back quickly, but once you get back, Tony, it's going to take a while, like speed. Like, games are going to be a lot faster. When you used to laugh at that Pee Wee House game, now you won't be laughing at it. And when they send you to that JV game, you're going to think you're going to die. The first one. Even though you were like, oh, it's a JV game. Oh, no, you're going to think you're going to die out there. So it will take a little while to get back. So I wish you the best of luck. But that was my experience with that.
Me too.
So
I wish you luck.
Yeah,
be careful.
Glad to have you back. Yeah. Just take care of yourself. Tony says, what do we think about making the organizations that participate bring an official, come help take the load off games? Irrelevant with how close the attorney. So I see where you're going with this. So Tony thinks we should
look for help from outside. I get it.
Yeah.
Like if a team's coming in from Dallas, get an official that's possibly in your organization that's not playing.
That's kind of an interesting, interesting concept. I guess the only problem with that would be, like the schedulers seem to know everybody pretty well. Like they know who can go where, who can go on what games, what area they're working from, where they live, all kinds of like things that we don't really think about. These guys have it down to a science. I mean, like you're amazed when you finish a game and they've sent you somewhere. It's like, I'm never going to make that game. And you get there with 5 minutes to spare. Okay. So that would probably be the only thing. If they don't know these people and, let's, maybe they get a really great ref and they bring a really great guy. But then again, maybe they had to bring a ref and we don't know who we're getting in that situation. So,
well, a lot of the time, there's a lot of contact that's made between people in the hockey community. I'll give a perfect example. There was a guy that wanted to go to a summer camp in USA Hockey. And the name came across, and there was quite a few people that are like, we don't know him. Like, he lives here, but he goes to school in Indiana, and he referees in Indiana. Oh. Well, it's a different district, so, we were discussing it in our district, we don't know. So we got a hold of the referee-in-chief that he works for all the time. And he's like, all right, what do I need to do? So we got him in touch with our district referee-in-chief, and they got him put in for that camp on their ticket because of a couple phone calls. So,
nice.
If people are coming in, they do check on people. Like, there might be somebody that comes in and, somebody's like, we don't know who it is at all. Like,
we've had some refs that we've worked with over the years that come back pretty regularly to this tournament. So, sometimes even though they live out of state, you may have worked with them before and kind of know who they are and, what you're getting. So,
my
or they lived in Chicago at one point and they moved out of state and they come back for the tournament. So, they help out, which is great.
It is. And you know what? It's also a time to see some people while you're in town and also get, Portillo's, Giordano's, Luminati's, whichever one your choice is.
Portillo's went public now, so you'll be able to get Portillo's anywhere pretty soon.
I know, and it opened up very well. So I'm actually kind of kicking myself that I didn't move my Krispy Kreme money over there because Krispy Kremes ain't going too well.
You're more of a Krispy Kreme guy. Oh, he's not even acknowledging me now. He's ignoring me. Yeah.
No, I'm looking. No. I
Brian
just
says
said
he couldn't move. Who are you referring to, Brian? He couldn't move. Talking about Brad? Brad, he couldn't move?
No. The referee that had to get off the ice. I know
okay. All right.
It was really bad. I felt bad for him. I even called him the next day. I think I texted him.
Listen,
like, are you alive?
I've cramped so bad before that I've fainted. I've had it happen twice. It's not good. And you're not going to be skating the next day once that happens. Trust me. So, better to, take care of yourself and feel good out there. Anything else before we're kind of going to wind things down here? We're coming up on the top of the hour.
Oh, my God, it's already 1 o'clock.
I know. It went fast, as it always does. And we had so many great comments and everything from you guys. So thank you for participating. That really, helps. Helps
again,
big time.
If you're
That's why we do this. We love you guys and girls out there. So
remember, if you're watching on Facebook, go to youtube.com/c/refroom. Did I get it right?
You got it right. Very
See?
good.
Told you I practiced.
Yep. That's right. That's where you
But
gotta go.
Switch over to YouTube for us.
Subscribe to YouTube.
And hit subscribe.
Yep. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button. If you like the show and you like what we do, you can help support it by going to buymeacoffee.com/refroom and buy us coffee. We're going to need some caffeine. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to need some caffeine to get through the weekend.
Look at the comment that just came in.
Oh my gosh. How do I get to the internet, Brad?
Anthony,
you take a left on this road and then you turn right. You come to the fork, okay? That's
just
how you
remember. No. Just remember Bugs Bunny. Always take that left turn at Albuquerque. Okay, if not, you're never going to make it to the internet.
Right.
That tickled my twine.
One.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Isn't he already at the internet? He's watching the show.
Maybe his internet's different than ours.
Yeah,
I don't
his
know.
might be different. All right. Well, if that's it, anybody else got anything that they want to add before we wrap things up and get ready for the busiest weekend of the year for hockey here in Illinois?
Be safe.
Yeah.
Be careful. People do get hurt. We understand it.
Yeah.
And,
One more tip.
Do your best.
Print your schedule out, guys.
That's a good one.
Print a copy of your schedule. I know we don't normally do that. We refer to our phone or whatever. Print a copy of your schedule and keep it with you. And it's got all the phone numbers for your partners. If you're running late, they know you're coming probably, but send them a text. Text them, call them, leave them a message. Just say hello to them, whatever. Let them know that you're on your way.
Let them know you're there. Get that stick in their side.
It goes a long way because trust me, if you're on game number 6 of the day, you're looking for that partner. You don't want to be skating a solo game on game 6 or 7. That's like being the band on game 7 of the day when you're in the middle of a 3-man for game 7.
Hang on, I can tell you the ultimate torture. All right, game 6,
back to back, game 6 and game 7 in the middle.
Hang on, no, game 6, right? Game 6 of Saturday, right? So you're working the first 3 and the last 3.
Yep.
So now your game starts at 8:30 at night or 9 o'clock or whatever the hell it is, 9:30 I think. And there's overtime in game 6 and you're the referee. That's the worst. Okay?
It's bad.
I've been there. It's horrible.
And Saturday night and the parents are in the stands and the game is running late, which means they've had an extra hour or two to have cocktails.
To drink in the parking lot. Yeah, to drink in the parking lot. So,
I saw the parents last week. Honestly, they were in the parking lot. I think my game started at like 9:30 or something. They were already out there with yes. They were already out there, okay? So, and it was a Sunday. So, like, they had been going from Saturday. They probably were left over from Saturday night and still going on Sunday.
Scott, they were having a church sermon, okay?
Yeah, I know. That's right. Yeah. It was a come to Jesus moment.
All right.
All right. Last couple comments. Sam checks in. Sorry, I'm going to miss out this weekend. Recovering from knee replacement sucks. Yeah.
Sal, I've texted with Sal. He said it's going good though. He's up and around.
That's good to hear.
Good luck. We need you back, brother, because there's only 8 guys that live in the Southwest out here where I live.
Right.
And you
Feel
live.
better. Brian says, have a great weekend all. Be safe. That is a great way to close the show up, Brian. I agree with you. So, guys, if you can, take an extra game. There's a lot of open games out there still. Be safe. Follow some of the advice we gave you. This comes from years of experience between a lot of the officials, and these are things that they've shared with us over the years. And, thank you, to Karen for letting us know, start getting ready for this now. Don't wait till Friday to get ready. Start getting ready now. I'm gonna
have hibachi tonight for dinner to get ready. So that's pretty much all I'm doing.
All right, good. Well, I'll probably be talking to you at 3:30 in the morning, and getting ready to leave it for a 5 o'clock in the morning game or something like that with no rest.
As long as it doesn't snow, we're okay.
Yeah. Fortunately, the weather seems to be holding up very nicely here. It's a little chilly, but it's a beautiful day. All right, guys, have a great week. We'll see you next Wednesday. Right here, we'll have the recap. We'll see how many people survive the weekend or have to take off.
Who's alive?
Yeah, we'll have the infirmary report next Wednesday on the show.
Yeah, shoot us any injuries so we can announce them live on the show.
Or send us some videos, guys. Send us some videos from some of the highlights from the weekend for your games. We'd love to share those with some people too. So we could do that next Wednesday. Okay. All right, guys. Be safe out there. All kidding aside, be smart, be safe, be careful driving to your games. You're going to be tired if you're moving from rink to rink, and take that schedule with you. Lots of fluids. Anything else, Brad? I think we covered it.
If you start to get a little fatigued behind the wheel, stop your car at a gas station, get out, walk into the gas station, go to the bathroom, and come back out. The best thing you can do is get your blood flowing again and wake back up.
Yeah, it's good. Good tip.
Don't get what's that called? Road fatigue or whatever.
Yeah,
I forget what it's called, but don't do that. It's dangerous. Nobody wants to see anybody get hurt.
Exactly.
So good luck.
In case you got a long ride back from your Game 6 or Game 7, late night.
Yep.
And, make sure you got gas in your tank, guys. Don't have to be stopping to get the gas. Put the gas in before the tournament, okay? So that you're ready to go. And bring some food with you. And with that, I'm going to say happy anniversary to my wife. Thank you for
happy anniversary.
Years. And I will see you guys next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. On behalf of the Ref Room, I'm Scott Smokin Silz, along with Brad Baumruck, coming to you from Chicago. Have a great week.